All right. Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to welcome to a very hearty discussion. And we're nearing the end of Amplified, but not before we have a very thorough and comprehensive discussion about one of the most important things that you need to prioritize as a print-on-demand merchant, and that is customer service. Okay? And we will be making the case as for why you should make that the foundation of your business, both short-term and long-term, and we'll get into that. I am joined today by Val, who is the head of the merchant support here at Printify. So all those agents that you talk to by clicking on that little green button in the lower left-hand corner of your Printify dashboard, she's in charge of them all. And I am, of course, Martin. I'm the expert consultant here at Printify. And what we are going to attempt to do is bring you the topic of customer service from two very unique perspectives. I will give you the merchant point of view, and Val here will give it to you from the Printify side of things, because you as the merchant are going to have to navigate both waters. So you're going to hear it from us. So sit back and enjoy yourself. We're going to do some polling, and we're going to have ourselves a really, really good time. How you doing, Val?
Yeah, doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just chugged a Red Bull, so I am on cloud nine.
Absolutely.
So. And we're going to answer your questions at the end of our discussion. So put those into the chat, and we'll be happy to address those when we reach the end of our discussion. Okay?
Yeah.
So, but Val, why should our viewers out there prioritize their customer service?
Well, there's so many reasons why, but let's start with reason number one, because we are all humans, and we want to be seen, heard, and feel like we are actually there, and there is a service that actually cares, right? And there is a product that actually is meant for us, right? And I think that we talked a lot today about branding, right? And how important it is to build up your brand. And when you start off small, especially, reputation matters, and you can either make it or break it if you do not interact with your customers in the right way.
I agree 100%. Let's throw our first poll at our audience here. Okay, what are you looking forward to most about this discussion? Okay, make your choice up there. I'll give you a second to make your selection. But of course, the right answer is E, because we'll be covering all these topics here comprehensively during today's discussion. Okay, so why should anyone prioritize their customer service? Well, especially in the beginning, it's super important because as those sales come in, they're most likely going to be coming in piecemeal, one by one. So when those sales do come in, it's super important to give your customers the attention they deserve, because they're your first customers, okay? And if you provide them with good customer service, and we'll get into a little bit later here in our discussion about exactly how to do that, but if you give them and wow them with your customer service, they're going to leave good reviews, and you can start to snowball your success little by little, okay? And it's also important for your long-term success, because Can you imagine how successful a business would be long term if they didn't offer really good customer service? Okay, can you think of any brand examples of good customer service?
I'm so happy you asked me that question. I personally love to talk about Zappos, the online retailer. Most of you probably have had some experience with Zappos. They have this wow philosophy. It's literally called wow. They focus specifically around making sure that the customer is always happy. And happiness, I guess, is a subjective way of looking at things, right? But they don't have scripts, right? They don't have this specific way of how you should handle interactions with them, but the sentiment, right? That vibe, that feeling that you want to leave your customers with, they live by this philosophy, right? Is that you want to make sure that the customer leaves feeling happy with whatever it was. Maybe it was a problematic flow. Maybe the order didn't actually get to the customer and they're calling because they have a problem. Usually that's why they get in touch with the customer support, right? And they ensure that they go above and beyond. They don't care how much time it takes, but they make it personal and they interact with customers. They put the customer first. And they also take the feedback, just as you were mentioning previously, to ensure that they build their services, their brand, around the customer, for the customer.
That's a great example. And the example that comes to mind for me is Amazon. Okay, granted, most of you out there have ordered something from Amazon a time or two in your life. We all have. But one thing Amazon does is immediately, once that order is dispatched and delivered, they hit your inbox again with a review. How did it go? Is everything okay? Can you rate the seller? Okay, and that's super, and that translates to how we do business for some of our marketplace sellers. Okay, so don't be shy about following up with your customer. Don't be shy about rolling out the red carpet for that customer, because Amazon didn't get as big as they did with being bad at what they do. Okay, and speaking of brand examples, we're going to get into a little bit about Printify a little bit later as well, because we all love that brand. Okay? But the thing you should take away from this portion of the discussion is both your short-term and your long-term success is built on prioritizing customer service. I had a webinar guest recently in the last webinar that I did, where I sat down with a very successful seller, one of the most successful sellers that we have here at Printify. And she related the story that in the beginning, her success would not have been possible without really going full in with her customer service. And what I mean by that is she reached out and thanked them for purchasing from her Etsy shop. She followed up with them, let them know when it was shipped out, and very personalized, very, very straightforward, not overbearing. You certainly don't want to come on too strong, okay? But really making your customer feel appreciated is the key. They left good reviews. Those good reviews turned into the Etsy algorithm, boosting her listings. She got more sales, more good reviews, more boosts. Snowball effect is happening. And there you go. She's now one of the most successful merchants at Printify, okay? So there we go.
Yeah, it actually, just to piggyback on that, it was really great to hear the merchants in today's sessions talk about specifically when they started off, how much time and effort they actually put into specifically listening and interacting with their customers. It's beautiful. But now we have a poll, and I have a question for you.
I'm listening.
Have you ever received bad customer service?
Me? Never. No, not
I knew it.
Not even once in my life.
What are we even talking about?
I know,
here?
exactly. We're done here, people. No, of course I've received bad service. Everybody out there has received bad service. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to ask this to the audience. Now, can you think of a time when you've had bad service? How did that make you feel? Okay, did it make you feel good? Well, of course not. Okay, how could that service have been improved? What would you have done if you were that particular retailer to improve your experience? Did that leave a sour taste? Have you never bought from that particular company again? Okay, it's nothing that anybody wants, of course, but if you follow our tips and tricks, you'll be on the right path to providing excellent customer service for your customers, okay?
Yes.
So let's continue on with the discussion.
Yes, so much to talk about, right? So, there's so many things, as I was mentioning, that would go into this secret recipe, right? When it comes to making everything about your customer, yeah? But let's look at it this way. Let's play a bit with words, right? In my opinion, providing excellent service means putting the you, right, in customer-centric. You have to be the customer cheerleader. You have to listen to what is it that they want. And again, it could be something about your design placements. It could be something about your store setting. It could be the questions that they ask that maybe you can already think of and include them in your store. Clear communication is key, right? You have to respond to inquiries in a timely manner. Boy, do I know that can be a problem.
I bet you do.
On behalf of Printify customer support, I want to use this opportunity to shamelessly apologize if we have ever not responded to you in the best timely manner. We're getting better at it. There's a lot of you, and perhaps sometimes not enough of us, but we're working on it. So it's essential, especially when you're the middleman, right? All jokes aside, just like you guys are working with carriers, right, and print providers, you're not printing, you're not shipping your orders. You have to work right with us to make sure, or whoever else, right, to make sure that it is actually functioning and properly getting to your customers. And in that regard, it's essential that they are informed. You have to be transparent. You have to ensure that they know exactly what's going on. Be open. Also, knowing this, anticipate what kind of potential issues there were. I had a really great example when I was purchasing there's some really awesome, dope sweatshirt from Etsy. And I got the order done. And everything was clear. And then I received an email from her, from the seller, and she just provided me this super informative email that basically just proactively let me know about potential tax, like customs, right? The information that I had to know. It let me know about the possible time it would take for it to, get prepared, get shipped out. It was amazing. I didn't have to actually talk to her. And then afterwards, she also went on to ask me, did you like it? Was there anything I could have done better? And to me, that's just beautiful, because it shows that the person is really building something for her customers, you know?
It sounds like she hit every point that she needed to hit.
Totally, absolutely.
Wonderful. And it's important to be proactive with your customer support. Make sure you have as much information up on your store, on your listings, so that you can answer those questions before your customers even know they need to ask them. Okay,
Exactly.
That means having your size charts and descriptions about how to order, what to expect from that. If your customer knows what to expect, okay, then they're going to have the confidence they need to buy from you rather than their competition.
Absolutely.
Now, I remember having a conversation with a merchant not too long ago where I really made the case to her that she needed to prioritize customer service. And so she's like, great, Martin, I think that's wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I checked back with her a couple weeks later. I looked at her store and I couldn't see anything listed on there about how she was going to provide this customer service. Nothing. And so I hopped on the phone with her again. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Are you still planning on prioritizing customer service? She's like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm making it a priority. And well, why are you keeping it a secret? Because I don't see it anywhere on your store. Okay, so if you are going to provide good customer service, okay, let your customer know about it. Okay, that means at every point, let your customer know that you're going to be there for them. If you have any questions, you can reach out. Here's how you reach out to me. If your sales platform supports live chats or services like that, okay, make use of them. Okay, and anticipate these things so that you can populate your frequently asked questions page about this, so that your customers can find that information. Because if they feel that every box has been ticked, every T's been crossed, every I's been dotted, and they know what to expect, they're gonna be more willing to convert and pull the trigger and be your customer rather than your competition. And I think that is super, super important to remember, okay? And at all times, just be empathetic, okay? Put yourself in your customer's shoes and provide them with a solution-oriented support, and at all times, just be supportive. Okay, the key word here is support. Support your customer, and in turn, they will support you.
Yes, and I just want to stress again the importance of really taking note of the feedback and the reviews that you get on your store. It can, sometimes maybe it will be negative, but sometimes it could really be constructive, positive feedback also of what you could do better, right? It could go from, again, design placement. It could go around different products that maybe you haven't even thought about having yet, right? I really like the example how one of the merchants used about Nike, right? Where she talks about specifically, Nike doesn't say that, hey, we're amazing at making sports shoes, right? They say, you got it, just do it. And this is like amazing, like build it for the person, like who is your target audience as well, right? And encourage them again, right? And another thing that I truly appreciate as a customer, we've all been customers, right? We know what it feels like when something goes really right, like not just normal, right? But like it made you feel so good, right? In that regards, if you got a compliment for whatever it is that you're selling, right? Say thank you, right? Just reach out to them and be like, that's so nice, thank you. You build up that relationship. Nowadays, especially after COVID, the more research I go through, the more I see that the customer has actually changed. It's not the same customer as we had before COVID. People are wanting that connection and that feeling that, because so many things are being digitalized, right? Just look at ChatGPT, right? The developments. People want to have that connection. And, and with that, naturally, also, they want it to be more meaningful. So I guarantee you, if you focus on that, it will pay off 100%.
Exactly. And the only thing I want to add on to that is seeking out and asking for reviews is a great way to find, is a great way to determine how you're doing. Okay, yeah. You can learn a lot more about about where you are in your business from a bad review than you can a good review. A good review is nice. We all love good reviews, yes. And they help our business and things like that. But that just reinforces that the path that you're on is quite good. But a bad review can let you know what you need to improve. Yes. So don't think it's the end of the world, because a bad review, again, it can help you identify areas of your business that you need to improve. Okay?
100%.
And speaking of improvement, setting yourself on the path to continuous improvement is super, super important, okay? Build that into your workflow, that you regularly review your procedures, how your customers are reacting, and make sure you have a comprehensive plan how to implement changes when you identify areas that need improvement, okay? Because one size rarely fits all, okay? You need, and it matters what specific demographic you are seeking out, what your targeted customer is. All these things matter, one, when you're developing a system, and then when you're looking for ways to improve that, okay?
Yes.
So get personal, get to know your customer's preferences, get to know your customer, and wow them with those little touches like you mentioned. Then just reach out, say thank you,
yeah,
okay? Because these people are supporting you. Reach out and say thank you, okay? All right. So, Val, have you ever had to I know the answer to this, I'm still going to ask it. Have you ever had to deal with an unsatisfied customer?
Never, not a single time in my life.
Wonderful. Well, we're done here. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next time. No, of course not. Go ahead.
No, of course I have. Working in the support industry, right? It's not always a positive flow. We do get customers who are not happy, but that is the beauty of it. We're there to help them. The reason I'm so into being in customer support and developing an amazing customer experience at Printify is because I love watching our merchants grow, right? And helping them be successful. So yes, 100% I have.
Exactly, because we're all human beings.
Exactly.
Okay. Mistakes happen because we work in a human business, and there's so many moving parts that are involved in the industry that eventually people are going to make mistakes. And the one thing I want to get across about this is that just because you have an unsatisfied customer, it's not the end of the world. It happens to everybody. It's part of the business. Okay, it could the issue could be completely out of your control,
Absolutely.
and something can still happen.
100%.
So why don't we go over a little bit of how to deal with those unsatisfied customers?
Yeah.
Because it's an inevitability. Okay.
Yeah, I think that this is incredibly important to keep in mind, and you have to be prepared that something will go wrong, right? Something will not go. You can be perfect. There's a lot of perfectionists out there I see amongst merchants. They want everything to be merchant and done to the T. And on occasion, they really do on their end everything perfectly. And it's super sad to see when something doesn't work out and the print provider doesn't deliver the way that we want it to deliver, or a carrier loses their package. It happens. It's sad. I hate it. But hey, moving forward from that, because you can't stick to that, right? Work out a strategy. What are you going to do in case A, B, C, D happens? Are you going to have maybe some templated responses that you want to keep in your folder so that you know that you can immediately send out, use automations right now. Again, as I was saying, there are so many digital solutions that you can apply to your everyday work. Find ways how you will interact about a problem when it does happen. Have a way how you will talk about it, because you have to be transparent. And imagine if something, let's say you have the most amazing, you have a bestseller, right? You are selling, you are successful, that's it, you're thinking about your next trip to Bali, and then something happens. And all of a sudden you have tons of orders that got stuck somewhere. Are you going to just like brush it off as if it never happened? You can't do that, right?
No.
You have to interact with them. You have to tell them. So it's essential that you listen, you work also if it's orders like with us, if you're working with us and it got stuck, reach out to my team. We'll do our very best to help you out, right? We're always there for you. But also, aside from us, make sure that you are also interacting with them, and don't put the blame on whoever else it is, right? Your customers don't want to know who actually messed up in the situation,
Exactly.
right?
Even if it's not technically your fault, you're still the one responsible.
Exactly. It's your brand, it's your store. Something went wrong, and they are specifically interacting with your brand and store. So just be open. Don't be scared to talk.
Exactly. And I want to touch on something you said a little bit earlier about having a plan in place.
Yes.
Because when you really break it down, there's really only a handful of issues you're going to be dealing with on a regular basis as a print-on-demand merchant. That's going to be your, lost packages, or my customer put down Peachtree Lane when they meant to put down Peachtree Avenue.
Exactly.
Whatever it might be, or they ordered a medium and a large showed up. So it's important to, especially in the beginning, to anticipate this and have a plan in place for when it eventually happens. Okay, so then that way you're able to respond quickly. And if you take anything away from this from this portion of the conversation, it's respond quickly, okay?
Yes.
You don't want to leave an unsatisfied customer just hanging there. Reach out, apologize, let them know you're there for them and that you're willing to work with them to find a prompt solution, okay?
Yeah.
That's going to go a long way. You respond to them quickly, that's going to set the stage for every single step that is to come after that, okay?
Yeah.
And your customers are going to appreciate that, because just because you have an unsatisfied customer doesn't mean you've lost that customer forever.
No, absolutely not.
Of course not. I've had plenty of merchant discussions where where they had an unsatisfied customer. They reached out quickly, provided comprehensive solutions. They were empathetic, and that customer was left with a good feeling, even though they had a bad experience.
Exactly.
Because of the process that they went to resolve that issue. That customer became a repeat customer again and again
and you
and
see,
again.
that goes back to, again, the point I was making. That customer felt heard, seen.
Exactly. Okay, and they came back and did more business. Okay,
exactly.
And speaking of business, now I often advise merchants in situations like these to have a what I call a rainy day fund. Now that's where you put aside maybe 1 or 2% of your profits, so that you can account for these sort of situations where there's no other way to get around it. You've got to refund your customer, otherwise they're going to leave a bad review, or you're going to lose them forever. So if you have a fund set aside, it's not going to come out of your net profits because you've already accounted for that. Okay, so that's important to remember. Okay, and then that way you're investing in customer retention. So don't squabble over that that $30. Okay, a lot of times you're much better off refunding your customer because it's going to come back to you tenfold down the line.
100%, 100%. And also one more thing to add to that is that it's essential to also document and learn. So we have such an amazing community with POD Rockstars, and on YouTube there's so much material. And it's just really, really great to take advantage of that, save it, document it, learn from it. And, holiday seasons, whatever holidays there are, those are the best opportunities to learn, and also take advantage of the community of more experienced merchants who maybe have had experience with a specific product or a specific print provider that they use. Just take advantage of that, learn from it, and how they have also dealt with specific situations with their customers.
Exactly. And you mentioned the holidays. The holidays get me excited because print-on-demand merchants out there, that's when your customer volume is the highest. It's a great opportunity for you to provide a great customer service experience, so they come back in the next year and do business with you again and again and again.
Exactly.
Okay? Exactly.
Yes.
All right. So let's move on because I want to tell our folks a little bit about Printify Connect. Now, we touched a little bit on it earlier in Amplified, so I'm not going to give you the whole spiel. So I just want to let you know that Printify Connect is available to you. If you are, it's a free add-on to the Printify Premium program. So if you're a Printify Premium subscriber, you can you can take advantage of it right now. And basically what it does is it outsources your customer service to our very talented, experienced, and very polite merchant support agents.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, it is not available for marketplaces like Etsy, Walmart, or eBay. But if you have a standalone store like a Wix or a WooCommerce or a Shopify or any of those standalones, or if you connect through our Printify API, you can take advantage of Printify Connect right now. Okay, and when is it going to be available for the marketplaces? I don't know. We would like that to be sooner rather than later. I have a feeling we'll have a question in Q&A about that. When is it available for Etsy? Okay, we're working on it. Be patient, but you can take advantage of it right now if you have one of those standalone stores. So, Val, you're head of merchant support. Can you tell us a little bit about how it works on your end?
The best thing about it is that we simply remove you as that bottleneck, and when you reach out to us for those reprints and refunds that your customers reach out to you about, you simply don't need to do that anymore. We handle that interaction, or that, let's say, action, right, for you, and your customers don't know that they're talking actually to Printify. They think you're talking, they're doing a form. Yeah, that's when I remember that when it was getting rolled out, that was one of the main questions, is the customers or merchants were worried if the customers would see that it was a Printify thing, and no, so no worries about that.
Okay. Yeah, and it's all part of our commitment to take some of the burden off you as the business owner and let us do some of that heavy lifting for you so you can focus on growing your business, which is where the bulk of your attention should be, right?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Okay, well, let's go, before we get to the Q&A portion of today's discussion, let's go ahead and wrap things up, okay?
Yeah, I think that to wrap this up, I think if there's anything that you can take away from this discussion, is that it's essential and crucial to prioritize your customer support and delivering a customer-centered service, right? Whether it is having material that's accessible to your customers about your product, about your shop, whether it is having a game plan for when something might potentially happen. How are you going to address it so that you are not stressed out dealing with customers and dealing with backlogs, and then maybe you have another side gig or you're doing something else and you simply feel like you're torn into 5,000 different directions. Prepare. It's always something that I always see when I look at some feedback also from more experienced merchants. They always talk about preparation is key, right? And also ensuring, right, that there's transparent policies, there's prompt communication. So again, if you can respond immediately, respond immediately. Whatever can help you to get through that faster. Again, as I was mentioning, templated responses. It doesn't mean that it has to be a robotic response, but just if it is a specific question, maybe you can place that information somewhere in your store. Do that. It will save you time.
Exactly. And at all points, remember, Printify has your back. Whether you're using Printify Connect or not, we have our merchant support agent standing by. We have some automated features in your account where in your orders page, if you select the order that has a specific issue, you can click the Submit Issue button and have it automated and have get your issues solved quickly, so then you can pass that quick solution on to your merchant, or onto your customer, okay? But think of what is something that you can implement today based on our discussion that you are not doing to improve your customer service, okay? Because remember, by prioritizing customer service, you can build customer loyalty, and by providing clear and prompt responses and friendly service, you can in turn give that same customer service to your customers and get them to come back to you over and over and over and over again. Okay, and remember, specifically in the beginning, really go all out on those few sales that you're making. I guarantee you it'll start snowballing into more and more. Okay, all right. Well, I will go ahead and pull up our Q&As, our Qs, and you can prepare for the A's here in just a moment. But thank you for everyone who submitted a question. We'll try to get through as many as we have time for. Okay, and I'll just apologize ahead of time if we don't get a chance to get to yours. But again, thank you for submitting. Okay. Michelle Junio asks, would Printify Pop-Up be available in Canada? Okay, as you know, right now, Printify Pop-Up is only available to U.S.-based merchants. Would we like to offer it to Canadian merchants? Yes, of course. We would like to offer it to the entire world. And we're working on a comprehensive plan to deliver that. So I'm going to ask my Canadian friends, my German friends, my UK friends, my Indonesian friends that are out there, please be patient, and we'll get that sorted for you as soon as we can. But thank you for your question. Okay, let's ask. Well, that's. Jackie Burt asked another pop-up question. I set up a pop-up store. Can I switch it to a store integrated with your website? Well, yeah, I think Jackie's asking about a sales platform that can be integrated with their website. Now, you can't necessarily just connect the pop-up store to your website, at least not yet. Maybe that functionality will exist at some point. But one thing you got to understand about pop-up is it's still relatively new.
Yes.
So we will be building more functionality into it, more customization options into it as we go on. Okay, but for right now, we do have a very, very simple solution for you if you wanted to transfer your products over. All you need to do, you can copy your products at the store level, transfer them over. Like if you open a Shopify store that's connected to your website, all you need to do is go to your store settings to manage your stores, and you'll see like three little buttons on the right hand side. You just need to click on those, and you can select copy products. And it's basically like just recreating your entire store, and then you can publish those products and be selling. So in a way, that gets you to where you want to be. Okay? But thank you very much for your question. Okay? Okay. Kuri Sato, and I apologize if I'm butchering your name. She asks, how long after they get the order delivered should we reach out to them? Thanking them and asking for a review. How to give customer service but not be too much?
For me, I mean, yes, it's a good question actually, because I guess there is no right or wrong response to it. Like the wrong response would be if you don't reach out at all, I guess, right? I would recommend to reach out after the order has been sent out, after you see that, okay, it's final, it's out the door. Like we were saying today, right? Customers expect it to be in their hands within 2 days.
Right.
Keep that in mind, right? And if you, even like today, for example, I'm expecting an order and I was already getting antsy trying to find out what, it really has been only 2 days. It is human. So I would say keep your interaction about a fulfilled order within that 2-day mark, and just I would even rather over communicate it, maybe in one email, rather than not communicate at all. And have again, it's a matter of proactively thinking about what kind of questions would they possibly have, right? If you already can build that up, then just include it in that interaction that you have with the customer.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with sending out an immediate thank you.
Absolutely.
It's like, hey, wow, you purchased something from me.
Yes, I'm so excited. You bought my stuff.
Exactly. And one of the analogies that I use when I describe this, how to reach out, when to and when not to, is think of your high school crush. Okay, you want to let them know you're interested, but you don't want to come on too strong. Okay, so find that healthy balance in between. You should be all right. Okay, and thank you for your question. Okay, wow, the questions are coming in fast. Let me see if I can find another one. Okay. How can you, okay, this question comes from CG Asked. CG asked this question, is what I mean. How can you be transparent but not say what happened, blame the carrier or whatever?
Yes, that's actually a really great question. I think when there is a problematic flow, it's essential to make sure that you communicate to your customer that you are doing whatever it is that is in your line of abilities to actually help them get the situation solved. So simply saying that, because if you think about it, let's say a package got lost because UPS lost it. It can happen, right? would it be better to be fully transparent and tell them, hey, UPS lost your package, sorry. Like that's not going to help it. They're going to be even more mad. Instead, go to your policies, go and really actually what you can promise transparently is, I promise to do whatever I can to make sure that we get this solved and we have a solution as fast as possible. If you think about it, that guarantees to them a feeling of reassurance, right? And again, it's about feeling, right? I talk a lot about feelings today. It's about feeling, about that feel that you leave your customers with. You want to reassure them that you will do whatever you can to solve it. And sometimes it might not be the perfect solution, but it is in your responsibility to ensure that you find some solution, right? So again, it's, I guess, going back to that balance of communication, right? Maybe not high school crush, but something close to interact with them and ensure them once again that you are working on finding a solution, that there is a delay. Let's say it's a carrier order delay. There's a delay, but I'm getting to the bottom of it. Hang tight. If you have a budget, I always like it when, like sometimes I know there's in Amazon, you order something and they will send you a little tiny gift attached to whatever it is, you know, like a personalized.
I love those.
Yeah, it leaves that nice feeling and vibe to it. You know, if you can do that as well as a thank you or as a I'm so sorry this was delayed. It's up to you how you do that.
Exactly, and we can do that with our branded inserts that are pretty much brand new to Printify. They've only been available for a little bit, and that's a great way for you to add a little personal touch to every single order that you sell. Especially this holiday season when you're gonna when your order volumes are going to be going crazy.
It's exciting.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for your question. Lori Knox has a question. Can we add the express shipping option when we offer free shipping? Okay, no, this isn't a customer service question, but I think it's something very, very, very worth answering. Okay, because express shipping, Printify Express is game changing. Yes. And the short answer is yeah, of course. Well, I mean, why not? It doesn't affect your ability to charge your customers for shipping or not. I mean, just because it's Printify Express, it's still a product. It still has a shipping charge. It just gets there in 2 days. Yeah. So how you deal with that on your sales channel is completely up to you. Okay, if you want to package that and fold in the shipping price into the retail price and offer free shipping. Of course, we all know there's no such thing as free shipping, like free shipping. Okay, but yeah, you are more than welcome to do that. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. All right, let's find a customer service related question. And again, thank you for all of you for submitting these questions. Another pop-up question. Let's see. Let's go all the way down to the bottom here. CH asks, can you explain more about Printify Connect customer service feature? Well, I think we covered it pretty comprehensively. One thing I will direct you to is I actually did a webinar on Printify Connect. Just go to the live section of our YouTube channel, sit down and watch it. I promise you'll be entertained. Check that out when you get a chance. We can also find some Help Center articles about Printify Connect. Is there anything that we didn't mention about Printify Connect? No, it's just that maybe they will be looking for it everywhere and it is not accessible everywhere. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, yeah. Again, it's not available for marketplace sellers like Etsy, eBay, or Walmart. But if you have a standalone store like Shopify, and you're a premium member, take advantage of it right now. Exactly. And basically what it boils down to is you're outsourcing your customer service to us. Yes. We're good at what we do. I mean, here's the woman in charge. So it's part of allowing you the trust and confidence you need to partner with us, but not only partner with us, you can trust the reputation of your business to us as well. Absolutely. Okay? Wonderful. All right, well, we got time for a couple more questions. Yes, of course. Wonderful. Okay, well, okay, a lot of these aren't necessarily customer service related, and I appreciate that. Okay. Nina asked, okay, let's address Nina R's question. Thank you, Nina R, for your question. The customer ordered an adult tea and, that's not it. They keep coming in so fast. Okay. Sorry, I lost your question, and I apologize. They're just coming in so fast. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, well, I think it's gone forever. Sorry about that. My apologies.
The good thing, if there isn't too many customer support related questions, I take it this session was very informative and they know what to do.
Exactly. Okay, here we go. I got one. Ann Starco. I'm going to try to read this fast before it disappears. Many POD stores do not offer returns. I think I should. Any thoughts? Okay. Well, I've worked with a ton of merchants. I don't know many merchants that offer returns simply because it kind of flies in the face of the convenience of being a print-on-demand merchant. Okay, if there are any issues that we're responsible for, yeah, we'd be happy to give you a free replacement or a refund. All we need is for you to ask your customer to take a little photo of it, send that to us. We'll look at it and be like, yeah, that looks like a medium. They should have ordered they should have received a large. We'd be happy to process a refund or a replacement to be sent right out. Now, if you want to facilitate returns, you are more than welcome to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that it's not unheard of. I just say it's extremely uncommon, because then you're going to have to deal with the hassle of going to the post office, and then you're going to have a bunch of unused merchandise in your house that you gotta send out. It's more hassle than it's worth. And quite frankly, because you're a POD merchant, take advantage of all the upside of being a merchant. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Apologies if we didn't get to all your questions, Val. I think we did a very comprehensive job of tackling this subject.
Yes.
So I want to thank all of you for joining us, but stick around because we're not done yet. We're about to announce the big prize of $1,000 of store credit and a trip to Amplified next year, wherever it may be. I voted for Tahiti, so we'll see if that actually happens. But thank you for joining us, and stick around. We're going to give away that prize right now.